If you just purchased a beautiful set of Flodesk email templates and you're ready to start growing that email list, but maybe you're not quite sure how to use Flodesk or how to customize those templates and make them your own, well, stick around. This video is for you. Hi, I'm Carrie. I'm the brand and website designer behind The Creative Accent. In addition to custom design, I also offer a variety of templates in my template shop. Link in the description if you'd like to check that out. Today I'm going to walk you through how to customize Flodesk email templates using my new Stonega collection. When you purchase a Flodesk email template, you should receive an instruction guide, and inside that guide, you'll find the links to add the template to your account. So when you open your instruction guide and you click on the link, it should automatically add it to your account. And if you already have a Flodesk account set up, you'll see a screen similar to this one. So it will say the Creative Accent or whichever business you purchase from shared a template with you. You can kind of preview it if you want to. And then when you click Start Designing Now, it will automatically add that into your Flodesk account so you can use it for your business. Now, if you don't have a Flodesk account yet, you can sign up. And if you'd like to get 50% off, you can sign up with my affiliate link. You'll find that linked in the description below. And you also get a 30-day trial to kind of see if Flodesk is a good fit for you. Okay, now that you have all the templates brought into your account, you should see a screen like this. And these are all ready to start customizing, but the first thing I recommend doing is to set your brand styling inside of Flodesk. This is especially true if you are a new user and you haven't done this. It will make your life so much easier. So just go up to your profile icon here and go down to branding. And when you're on this page, you can upload your logo. You can upload any brand colors. Those are going to be the hex codes. So if you have a brand style guide, you want to look and find those hex codes and plug those in here. And you can also upload any custom fonts that you're using. So that's really helpful. Let's go back. So if I could just click on the little logo here, I'll go back to the screen I was on. Now let's start editing. Because these are templates that I'm using, I'm just going to create a duplicate so I can kind of play around with it and not worry about messing up the original design. So I'm just going to call it a test. And then I'm going to click edit. Okay, now that I'm inside the editor, I can start to make some changes. You'll see the first thing you'll notice is the global style. So you'll want to set these according to your brand colors. So for example, you've got your font color setting. This is a very dark green, but if you want to change that to black, you can just easily click on that and then select another color. You can choose a different backdrop color. So for this, I have this like very soft neutral, but if you would prefer that to be, let's say like a light pink, or let's say you just want to make it white and you don't want to have another color back there, that's totally fine. So normally when you click on these like color bubbles, you're going to see your brand colors that you set in your, overall style settings. You're going to see that here. So then you can select from those colors. You can also just add in your hex code here. So if you would have a color that perhaps is not part of your normal branding, you can always add that in here. Okay, so let's talk first about changing the type. So obviously the email, you're going to write something to your audience. So all you do is you just click into this canvas. You'll see that all of these things are divided up into different canvases. So you can just easily click in here and start typing. So start typing your email here. You can always double click, and then this will allow you to, for example, bold a word or phrase if you want to like draw extra attention to it, italicize, or even underline. You have a few different options here, but you can also create some bullet points if that's important for that email. And you can also link, so you can add an internal link inside of the text itself. So you just click on that, and then you just paste your URL here. So when you have like your style settings in place, if you want to make your life easier, or actually Flodesk enables you to do this and make it easier, you can, for example, save a style. So if I, let's say I love this style here, I can go over here and I can select, I'm doing the wrong thing here. Okay, here, I just need to select the whole box. That's easier. So I select the box and I can select choose style and then save this font style. So that's really handy if you're going to use the same sort of, heading, title font, body font over and over again, as you should to keep your branding consistent. Just select that text box that you're using. You can come over here and then save that style. And then you can give it a name and use it again. Something else that is useful to know is the spacing in your font. So as you're setting up your style, let's take another box, another block of text here. So this one can be kind of tricky because we got two fonts going on in the same box. So I just want to make sure that I select the one that I want to change. You'll see that you can come over here and you can change the font. So you can change it to any font that you have uploaded and have a license to use, or any that are already inside of Flodesk. And they have quite a lot of fonts here. There are some limitations when it comes to the email text body itself, just because, not every browser will render it correctly. So it's better to have one that will render correctly than one that won't. But here in these custom fields, you have a lot of fonts to choose from. So if you don't have licenses to use your brand fonts or something like that, you can always find an alternative here in the different styles. And you can also change the size. So if I want to make this bigger or smaller, I can just bump that up like that. I can, again, change the font color. I can align it to the left or to the right or keep it centered. I can put it in all caps if I want to. And I can also, let's just take that off. I can also change the spacing. So the line height is just how much space is there between each line. So I can drag this up and make that a lot bigger. And then I can also adjust the letter spacing. So for example, in this font, this is Comforta, then there's a lot more spacing between the letters. So that is, intentional for this design, but you just want to match it to your branding. So if you want a little bit more breathability, a little bit more space there, you can kind of click and drag and pull that out. But again, make sure you select everything, that whole line, as you make these changes. You can do it like that. Or likewise, you can take it down and make it smaller. So that's just up to you. Another thing that is really key for your emails that you don't want to forget is setting the click actions. So obviously you're going to send an email. You want to have a call to action, maybe multiple, but at least one call to action, and you might use buttons like this. So once you have a button in place, you want to be sure, I just selected this box with a button. You can customize the buttons. For example, if this is more in line with your brand, or maybe an outline or something like that, if you do that, then you would want to change the font color. You can just click in there to grab that. And then there's like these different tabs here, so you can customize the design. So this one is specifically for the button. But if I want to do an outline, then obviously I want to have a darker color for the font. Let's just go with black. So something like that. And then likewise for the font, you can change the font, you can change the size. And then once you've set up that button style, you can come up here and actually save it as its own style. So you see I already have a few that have been saved, but you can save a button style that you can reuse over and over again. Will save you some time. But the thing I was wanting to get to is once you have a button, you want to be sure to set your link correctly, so that when someone opens that email, that it's going to take them to the landing page or to the sales page or wherever you want to take them. So be sure, select your button, add your URL here. If this would be, for example, a lead magnet or something like that, and this is going to be a delivery email, there's one of those included in the Stonega template, then instead of a URL, maybe you want to attach a file. So you could do that as well. So you could attach your PDF guide to that button. So they click on the button, it would download the PDF. Okay, as we scroll on down, another important thing to keep in mind is the imagery. Obviously, you're going to have your own imagery, so you want to swap that out to match your brand. All you need to do is just click on a photo, and then you can come over here and X that out, and then you can upload another one. When you click upload image, then you can choose another one from your library. I'll just take this one. You can choose another one from your library, and on occasion, you will have the opportunity to change the shape. This is not true for every layout, but in some cases, you can change the shape. So, for example, maybe we'll leave that as a circle. You can zoom in a bit even, and sometimes, depending on the orientation of the photo, you can kind of click and drag in here to set that preview as you want it. And then this is more text, so you just need to click in here and change that. Add your own text here. Same thing for this. And one other thing that you can do in all of these canvases is change the background color. So let's say you would want these to alternate color. You can choose, for example, I'll choose this light color, and then maybe I want this next one. I select the next one, and I want it to be more of this mint color, and maybe I want this one to be this pink color. So it's not looking too good like that, but just to show you what you can do if you want to change those colors. And another handy tip is if you do something and you don't like it, you can always hit Command or Control Z and undo it. So that's always really handy. If you do something and you're like, what did I do? You can always hit Command Z and undo it. So that's just to show you a few things that you can do with the images. With the click actions we've already talked about. You can, like I said, you can also set click actions in the text itself or using a button. And I believe also these canvases, every canvas enables you to set a link to that so that if somebody would click on that in the email, then they can just easily, get to that landing page or wherever you want to send them. So every canvas you can set a link for that. Now let's talk a little bit about reordering. So some of these templates, at least in my collection, they're made to be used in different ways and to build out a series of emails. So this one in particular is more sales focused or maybe like a special offering focused. So for example, spring mini sessions or something like that. You can kind of reorder and delete or add more depending on what you want to say in that particular email. So for example, if you're building out, if you're going to have a special offer or a sale, you probably want to build out a series of emails, at least 3, that's going to kind of remind people and cover different points of your offering. So for example, testimonials is a powerful one. So let's say you want to use your testimonials in this email and you want to bump those up. And that'd be one of the first things that people see. So here, when you click on any canvas, you'll see a few different options. You'll see the option to move it up or down. So this is just going to move it up, one block at a time. And I can do this for this one as well. Let me just move that up. Okay. I want to keep that line there. This is just a little divider that you can add in, which is quite handy. I'm going to move it up one more. Okay, so you can move things up or down like that. You can also, if you have a canvas that you really love, let's say you really just love this testimonial canvas and you have customized it for yourself. So you've changed the fonts, you've maybe changed the style of the picture here, and it's just how you want it, but you know that you'll be using this in other emails. You can always save this block as one of your favorites. So you can easily add it to other templates as you're building it out. That's very handy. You can also, let me just delete this one. So you can also, I'm just going to move this up with the other ones. There we go. Okay, so you can also duplicate. So if you are, for example, building out, I'll show you this on the FAQs. If you're building out segments that you want things to repeat, then you can easily just duplicate it and then you can continue to edit it. Likewise, if you don't need it, you can just delete it. So that's particularly handy with, for example, this frequently asked questions section where you can add in a couple different questions. And these are just, individual blocks, but let's say you've got 4 questions that you want to cover. So I'm just going to duplicate this, and then I've got 4 different segments, and I can just easily come in here and edit to include my question right there, and then the answer below. So that gives you kind of an overview of how you can move things up or down, or you can delete things that you don't need. So for example, maybe I don't want to use the frequently asked questions on the first email that's announcing my sale. Very logical. That's usually like email 3 or 4. That's a little bit more down the line. So I could just delete all of these sections. If I am not going to need them for this email, I can keep the original as my base, and then I can just delete these that I don't need and then use them in the next one. Some layouts do have like special, like there's special features in them, and you can turn them on or off. So for example, this one is going to show the pricing. Maybe you want to include that. Maybe you're more of a product-based business and like that's more pertinent. Maybe you don't want to include that. So if you click on a canvas and you come over here to the right and under block, you can see the different options that you might find for that particular canvas layout. So for example, let's say I don't want to include the description below. Let's say I don't want to include the price. I could just take that off. Or maybe I don't want to include buttons. You can still set a click action on the individual image. And this one has a few different varieties in terms of the shape. It will affect all of them. So if you click on one, it will affect all of them, but you can change that and set a link action for each individual image. And let me just go back to the block. So yes, you can adjust and show only, you can show the things that you want in those individual canvases. Let's say you only have 2 products or services that you want to display, then you can just bump that down to 2. Let's say you have 4, then you can kind of add in an extra, and you can also change the style here of the grid. So let's say I don't want to have 3 columns and then this one like straggler by itself. I can just change this to 2. So you see 2 rows like that. That's just to give you an idea of how you can use the different layouts that are already included in your template, or at least in this template, and make it your own. Now, another thing that I want to point out is Flodesk has a bunch of different templates, layouts already included. So if you're looking for something else, you can always click on these plus buttons here. So let's say I click on this plus button and I want to add something else. I want to add a layout, or I just want to add like one big image or a variety of images. There's a few different settings on this. Logo, a video, that's very helpful sometimes. Maybe I want to add like my Instagram feed at the bottom. There I can connect it, text, a link bar, a button, a divider. Just if you want to add some extra space, you can use this space, social links. So a few different things. And then here you'll also see your favorites. So if you had saved a few different canvases that you really love, if you click here, you'll be able to just easily add those into your email. So I just want to spend a little bit of time walking you through the layouts. So if you click on a layout, you can kind of browse over here all the different layout possibilities that are already inside of Flodesk. So this makes it really easy to, to include a variety of designs and layouts and keep things interesting. So here are a few others. And obviously they're just going to have their default settings, but you can come in and customize those. The advantage of having like buying Flodesk email templates from a designer is that they've already done this work for you. So like it's already set to a particular styling and they already have a certain layout built for you, but you can always come in and add an additional template or an additional layout is what I meant to say, or yeah, just build something from scratch right inside of Flodesk. So there's a lot of different options here. So that is for the layouts. This one is very popular. Let's see. That one's handy for a sale. Yeah, there's just a few different options here. So you can play around if you are still looking for something that, is a better fit for your brand, or just need something different, then you can look at the layouts that are already existing inside of Flodesk. And another thing to consider, if I click on the plus again, is the e-commerce side of things. So if I click on e-commerce, there's some really nice layouts inside of there. If you have, if you're a product-based business, or actually I use some of these even for services. So you can just kind of browse around and find a variety of ideas there for different layouts. One final thing to point out about the different layouts inside your template is, at least particular to Stonega and my templates, I include inside the bundle Canva templates to kind of partner with your Flodesk email templates. So you'll see this hero is just one image. So if I click on it, you'll see this is the image that has been customized from one of the Canva banners that I've created. And that's included in your bundle. So you can go and customize one of those banners. It just helps give, something different that's not a layout that's not included in Flodesk, and one that's really matching the brand. So you can always customize those banners, or, like I said, this is just an image. You can replace it and put another image there as well. Once you have an email that you love and that you're ready to send, I recommend coming over here to the left side and sending yourself a test email. So click on that. The subject you can adjust elsewhere, so don't worry about that. But write your email here or wherever you want to send the test. That way you can quickly test all the links, make sure you didn't overlook anything. You can also save a template that you've customized as one of your favorites. This is really handy if you want to build out an entire workflow and you want to bring in one of these designs to include in that workflow. So just save it to one of your favorites. This is for sharing as a template. So obviously you're not going to share a template that you purchased from another designer, but if you're a designer yourself and you build out a template inside Flodesk, then this would be what you would use to share that with your audience. Okay, so once you're ready, you can quickly preview, if that's helpful, you can quickly preview the layout on mobile and on desktop. And once you're ready to hit publish, you just need to go to next. These are settings that will already be filled out from your overall Flodesk settings, but you can always plug these in. I'm just going to walk you through these steps so you can see. So here you can change the subject line. So new subject here. You can add an emoji right there, and then you can add some preview text, just like the first line of your email, or just giving a brief summary of what it's about. You can add that there. Continue, and then here is where you want to choose who you're going to send it to. Now you can add individual email addresses, but in general you want to have your audience set up into segments. So if I click add a segment, then I'm going to choose one of my existing segments to send this whole email to. And you can choose multiple. So you can choose all subscribers. You can choose just one or two of your segments. That's totally up to you. You can also exclude some segments. So let's say you want to send it to everybody except a segment, then you can add those to exclude right there. I'm just going to close that out. Okay. And then I think that will be the last step. So once you choose your segments, then you'll be ready to send it. I hope you found that helpful in terms of how to edit the templates and work inside the builder so that you can customize the templates and make them your own. Before we end, I just wanted to give you a quick overview of kind of the Flodesk dashboard, if you will. So the first thing you'll notice here on the top, this is kind of your navigation bar. So all of your emails that you've ever made are going to be here. And if it starts to get to be a lot, you can always create folders and kind of organize your emails, by, like, let's say you run a big sale and you have 6 or 7 emails in that funnel, then you can kind of put them all together so you can easily reference those emails specifically. Forms is just going to be what you would embed on your website eventually. And I have another video on how to embed a Flodesk form on your website. So if you want to check that out, look in the description below. Workflows. Now this needs a video all to itself because it's a little bit more elaborate, but essentially a workflow is where you're going to create an email funnel, like a welcome sequence. So let's say you have a lead magnet and they sign up for your lead magnet. You're going to send a delivery email, but you're not going to stop there. Obviously, now that they're in your list, you want to kind of build that connection and build that trust with your new audience. So here is where you would create a new workflow, and then you would kind of build that out per lead magnet, if you will, or per campaign. Checkouts is, Flodesk, they just continue to improve. And recently they have offered the option to have like checkout pages, like a landing page. So that's another thing to look at. And then, so your audience is going to be where you're going to find like everybody that's signed up to your email list. So all of your subscribers. And if you click on the segments tab, this is where you can set up a new segment. So let's say you have a lead magnet for an engagement session prep guide. So you would come over here and create a new segment. You can give it a name. So you can say engagement prep guide, so you know like this is going to be connected, like everybody that signs up, they're signing up to get this guide. And then you can choose a color. If you got a lot of different funnels going on, you can kind of keep it color coordinated. So you select your color and then you just hit save, and that's going to add that to your segments. And then finally, you've got your analytics, and this is just the tab where you can kind of see how many people have opened, check the open rate, the click rate, and all those important stats about your different email campaigns and workflows. So that kind of helps you measure your success and then make any changes if you see that something's not working, or maybe you see something is working really well. So you can kind of dig into that and see, what you want to do to improve for the future. That felt like a lot to get through, but I hope you stuck with me to the end, and now you feel more comfortable editing and customizing your email templates inside of Flodesk. Be sure to subscribe for more design tips and tutorials like this one, and don't forget to check out my new Flodesk email templates that are now available in the template shop. You can check all the links in the description below. See you next time.